good morning. Woken. Stay woke. Let's get woke. All right. Let me fix this. Boom, boom. All right, we're good. We had a very slow day yesterday. Hope you preserved yourself. We got over the overnight in the, let's see here, Tokyo session cruised up. Whoa, dude, hold on. Tokyo session cruised up. We had a cruise up. And then when the London took over, it continued to pop up. And then we got this nice pullback here. And now it's kind of tapped around a bit. It might be, we're just kind of going a little bit sideways right here. So we could start seeing a continuation up. It could wiggle around some more. It could blast down, but kind of the sideways and up looks a little bit more where its agenda is at. If we look at the bigger picture, we had that two bottom. It came up and it's been pulling back, trying to find how far it wants to go back. We could see this thing start to ride upwards. Totally possible. Continuing what was started in the overnight. Obviously, this is not a train because there's not. There's the movement in the London was a bit mixed, up, down, sideways. So, it has to be continuous. So then we'll look for potentially a pump, up or down, doesn't matter to me. And then Gunblade doesn't look like a Gunblade's going to be going on. With Gunblade, we would need to have more of a downward movement since we've come up and we're trying to form this down bar. We would have to have more consistent down, and then it just continues down into the open. So no Gunblade. That leaves us with two options. Either we get a pump at open, or we wait and see if we get a hyper jump. And if it's more active today, one of those is a possibility. Or maybe both. I've been working hard on that 24/7 stream of abundance. I just last night finished getting the content together for it, at least the audio content. I have to smooth out the transitions and get it cleaned up, mix it and whatnot, and then I have got to get together a simple video for it. And I bought the VPS to host it, and they're setting it up. So my plan is to have everything ready to go at least around the time that they give it to me, so then I can start getting it working right away. So hopefully that'll be up in the next few days or maybe a week. I'm super sore. I've been doing some pretty good workouts, doing my calisthenics. A lot of pull-ups yesterday. I'm really training to to be able to do muscle ups, which I'm getting slowly and slowly closer to. Just have to practice a bit more, maybe get a little bit stronger, lose a little weight, get a stronger core, practice the technique more, learn how to get more pop in air, and then practicing leaning over the bar. I think that was the main thing, is I have to practice the layover. Because at first I was actually holding the bar without my thumbs wrapped around it, and so that I think makes your hand too unstable when you go up and you want to move into more of a dip position and lay over it, because your thumb kind of acts as like an anchor that you pivot around. So when I started using my thumbs around the bar, I was able to have more stability when I'd come up and lean forward. And I was able to flip my arms up and like get close to the bar, but I wasn't like leaning over the bar. Right? I don't think it's like a pretty quick movement. So you don't have there's a lot you got to do in like a short amount of time to make that transition. So I think it just takes practice, just like slowly teaching the body what it's supposed to be doing. It's kind of like with with the contact sword. There's a lot of things that happen really quick. And so it's just about like, you just kind of have to like break it down and slowly teach your body what's going on. And it's not that you need any sort of special knowledge, any sort of special like strength or flexibility or anything like that, but it's more so just about like having your body figure out what it's supposed to do, and then it just memorizes that and kind of encodes that into its memory, and then you just kind of do it automatically. But that's what proper training is when you can slow down and do all the little pieces of a move, so that your body's like paying attention and listening to what's going on and recording everything that's happening. So like if you're practicing a stroke or a swing in like a tennis or golf or something like that, and you slow it down to every little piece of movement, then your body will remember each piece of movement, and then when you do it again and again, you don't have to think about it. Your body will know what to do automatically, which is cool. I think that's really awesome. When you understand that concept, you can apply that to everything, and then that's how you can learn literally everything for like physically. But you can apply that to other habits too, like with trading. Same thing is like when you're learning your system and you practice all the different motions. Like for me, it's like I practice getting the charts opening. I'm going through and seeing like what if the trade is valid or not, and then going through the kind of the flow chart in my head of what trades to look for and what's going to be next to see if it will take place. And if not, move on to the next thing, right? Or stop trading for the day. And then noticing as it's setting up to see if it's a valid setup, and then executing it when it's time, and then handling it, right? There's just a lot of sequences and series that happen relatively quickly with periods of patience. And this could be a pump. Maybe, nope, maybe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fail. Yeah, nope. No pump this morning, it looks like. Looks pretty mixed right now. We'll see how the next few minutes play out. Darn. It looks like this could be... I know, I'm all excited. Like, after seeing so many lit pumps in the market, I'm just like, come on, don't do another one, do another one. But we'll give it a few minutes. We might get something pretty wild. Who knows? I mean, this did tap down a good bit, which hopefully give it some potential energy. But if it keeps swinging back and forth, then no. No. All right, that was a nice pop. Tap through here. Yeah, this is a super sideways so far. The range of 9.5 to about 13, so about 3.5 points range. That is not a tight range. That's a decent range. Dang. Past 3 weeks have been like so crazy good. And now yesterday was weak. But that's fine, it was Columbus Day. Now today it's like, is today gonna be weak? How is today gonna play out? Probably better than yesterday. But how much better? Come on, October. All right, we're getting a move down. Yeah, it's cruising down, but definitely not seeing a big clearing of the oversold. We're like 9 minutes in. Bar hasn't closed down. We're at about 4.5 points. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so there was the bottom of this overnight. Yeah, so we tapped at the top of the range here, came down, we're now cruising the bottom of this, guys. If you're a range trader, then this would be good for you as it's cruising back up. There's, in my no pump, there was a swing down, but no pump, so yeah, I'm not going to look for any pumps. So the only trade I'm going to be looking for is a jump, which would require a close of the bar down. And right now we're going up, so it might be a while. Stay tuned. Interesting. So we're getting quite a big move up now. Why was it so lucky? Lagamo! Lago! But yeah, it'll be interesting to see because it's come down. Let's see. Why does this feel so laggy to me? Load. So weird. Come on, Brew. Alright, well, here's the top of the overnight. So we haven't hit the top of the overnight yet. So it'll be interesting to see. It's at the bottom of the overnight. Tap this here, tap the bottom here. It's coming up. It's coming close. Coming pretty close to the edge, maybe like a point away. So it'll be interesting to see if this kind of continues its push up. Or it, yeah, that's what I was thinking in my initial analysis. I was thinking it's either going to go sideways, or we could see this pushing upwards. So either that's what I see here. This is going to come down to some more of a behavior, or we could see this continue to push up. And if it swings, then it kind of becomes at that point it could work its way down, downside, continue swinging around, be erratic, eventually break up later. But yeah. What I feel is like this wasn't really a pump, but it was a test. Like I call it the check mark, where it's like it doesn't just blast down, right, and oversell, and then you ride the pump the way. This is more like a slow cruise down, and then it hits some sort of important area, and then it's the other way. Which, I don't know. The thing with that, though, is when it's cruising down like that, that could create more of a sustainable move down, right? And just cruising down. Whereas what makes the pump work is that it's initially moving at an unsustainable pace. And so then you're capitalizing on the collapse of the unsustainable. It's like trying to build a skyscraper as fast as you can with as few pieces of materials as you can. And it's like standing up with like sticks rested against it, and you're trying to balance everything as you're stacking it higher and higher and higher and higher, and then eventually it just topples over and collapses. This one, it's more like we've had some sideways movements, and it's been coming down and bottoming out, and this was coming down to kind of put another leg on the table to create enough of a platform for it to blast offwards from. I call it a check mark because it looks like a check mark. You've got a little bit of a move, right? That's like the first part of the check. Like if we were to draw this. Boy, it is slow. I want a line. Give me a line. So something like this where it's like Here's open. Whoa, that's giving me some ray action. Come on. Come on. There we go. That's what I want. And orange does not stand out. Sorry, orange. I like you. It's Halloween. You know what? Fuck it. It's Halloween. We're just gonna, like, you know, deal with it. Deal with orange and black. And we'll draw another line like this. Dude. Like that. So, yeah, there's the check mark. Ching, ching. Could even make this fatter. Can we make it fatter? Oh, that's the style. This is the thickness. Yeah, we want girth. Give us girth. So with this check mark, the interesting thing about this is it's not like this thing took off the trend, and it's not like this thing pumped down to create a lot of momentum up. This thing just kind of like cruised down, right? And this thing is shot up. So the idea is hopefully it cruises up a bit. It's broken it's hit the top of the overnight, so we'll see how it responds to that. And I guess we'll see. It made this big dip down. Run away, run away, run away, run away. The thing that's interesting that I've seen is that this has come down and entered into the first bar of this pattern, and it got oversold, and then we had a decent move up. Right. So let's see. Remove these puppies. And then yesterday, let's see. Will yesterday load? There it goes. There we go. There we go. See if they'll do it again. Why, it's hella laggy right now. Oh, there it goes. Nice. But yeah, so with yesterday, 1509.50. So around here, right? We didn't really have a pump, but it did come up and it oversold into the first bar. Let's see. Which is here. And it came here. That ended up being down. So that makes me wonder if, because this has happened twice now, and there's always like patterns the market gives. Because it's like, well, I don't really want to do the check mark trade, if that's a thing. But if the market, let's see here. So in our flow chart, I would look for train, because if there's a solid train, then you just want to follow the train. Otherwise, you want to see if there's a big pump at open, and if there's a pump, you want to follow the pump. Or if there's a gun blade, like it's cruising in a certain direction and closes that way, right? Those are all very unique situations. But this is another situation that I haven't covered yet that is an important thing that happens, where it's a test drive essentially. Yeah, and it does happen enough where you do want to have a strategy for test drives. And I think the way that I would approach a test drive is, because when I see it moving like this, that could be just since it's not sustainable, it could be sustained to move up, pull back, and keep going, right? But I think what makes this these 2 days interesting, is that it's pulling back to the first bar and getting inside of it, and then being overbought, right? Just like a hyper jump. It is the full-on hyper jump setup, right? And it's happening early in the day, in the morning, when there's a lot of potential energy. So I feel like it makes sense to me to include originally I didn't want to mess with overnight bursts, but I feel like, yeah, if I'd follow along with these trades, let's see here, they're not huge moves, maybe like 4 or 5 points, like nothing big. I mean, that was a holiday day, but today would have been better. And when there's no train setup, and you don't know and the hyper jump with the bar turn, that's a specific kind of you know what, let me try closing this, and let me try opening it again. There's so much lag. From who's lagging my computer? Oh god, this is so laggy. I feel like I should just restart everything. Let's see. Window capture. Come on. Holy cow. You know what? I think I'm going to restart everything. This is pretty crazy. Oh. Yeah, because I can't even trade like that. Well, not that I'm probably not going to be facing trades today, because I just discovered I just need to do some research. Let this man research his work. Good God, man. But this one was a much bigger move. It was, holy shit, what the fuck? This thing is just hot up. Right, so, yeah, it's interesting. I think, when you don't have a train or a pump or gun blade, that means it's got a mix. That means it's probably mixed in its moves, and that mix could either lead to a turning of the bar, right? It could lead to a pump, but if it doesn't pump, then that could lead to either a turning of the bar, or it's going to be you need some sort of retracement. That's the thing, right? With any kind of move, at that point, because there's a mixture of information, whatever direction it's choosing to go in, you have to have a retracement. So either you're on the bar you're on and it retraces there, and you get it on that move, like today, right? Or it creates a new bar and retraces on that new bar, and you get it on that move. I think that's fair. I think that way, because the hyper jump's a little bit limited right now, in that you can only really get it on one direction. and it has to turn the other way. But this allows for something like this, where it's been a mixed overnight, or it's tight, or something like that. And so if it's tight, then there's going to be a lot of back and forth. Or if it's mixed, there's going to be a lot of back and forth. But if that back and forth leads in whatever direction it's going, if that gets retreat, right, then you can capitalize on that. If it's not pumping or training or gun blading or whatever, then that basically leaves situations of lots of swings and mixed movements, or even just low range movements that allow for that kind of setup to occur, right? And then beyond that, then you're looking for it to turn the other direction, right? And looking for retracement on that new turn. And then beyond that, you could even go as far as like looking for the second turn, but so far what I've seen is that doesn't seem too necessary to have to allow for two. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now we're just dealing with these opening moves that are occurring. And see, that's 10 points already. I was looking, I'm like, that feels like a move, and I'm like, how do we trade this, right? Like, how do we rationally trade this with our system? And that made a lot of sense. If we get an RSI oversold or overbought, and it's dipped down to the first bar, yeah, right. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so yesterday was actually a pretty clean pop over the RSI, and then we had it come down. This one, it's almost like it touched, didn't quite cross. It touched. Could try a trade there. It's a little sketch. But yeah, once it comes down here, then you can get in on this cross here. Yeah, and then I saw it start to jump. Like, there's entry. I saw the whole thing transpire before my eyes. I think I was looking at it like